Hello children, how are you? I hope you're all doing well. So today we are going to learn about seed germination. You might be knowing that plants are multiplied through seed and vegetative propagation. A seed is the part of a seed plant which can grow into a new plant. It is a reproductive structure which disperses and can survive for some time. A seed is generally made up of three parts: seed coat, seed cotyledons, and embryo. So let's try to understand what are these. Seed coat can be thin, for example, in beans, or it can be very thick, for example, in coconut. Seed cotyledons are also known as seed leaves. A grain of a rice has only one cotyledon, whereas beans have two cotyledons. Embryo is like a small baby plant and it stores food for germination. Now before we proceed, let us also learn something about an interesting fact of seed. It is called as seed dispersal. Seed dispersal takes place through wind, water explosion, animals and human beings. For example, the seeds of the orchid plant, dandelions, swan plants, cottonwood tree, hornbeam, ash, cattail, puya, willow herbs are all examples of plants whose seeds are dispersed by the wind. Seed dispersal in lotus and coconut takes place through water. Blackberry, cherry, tomato and apple seeds are dispersed by birds. So birds are also responsible for seed dispersal. In okra, pea and bean plants, the seeds are dispersed through explosion as the pod bursts out when they ripen. So these are the interesting facts about the seed dispersal. Now during the germination, the seed should have suitable growing conditions. And that is why seed dispersal also becomes important. So if they land up in an area where they get a very good growing condition, they will germinate very well. Germination is the process by which a plant grows from a seed. It is the emergence of radicle and plumule from the seed coat. So in this video, we will learn about seed germination and the various factors that influence seed germination. In simple terms, germination is emergence of radicle and plumule through the seed coat. Seed germination is an important aspect in gardening and agriculture. So in some seeds, pre-germination is done. That is, sprouting of the seed is done in the absence of soil. This actually facilitates the germination of seed. And then the seedlings are transplanted. We can transplant these seedlings into a compost or a vermiculite or soil, and these seedlings grow into a plant. There are two types of germination: apigeal and hypogeal germination. In apigeal germination, the cotyledons are carried above the soil surface by the elongating hypocotyle and they expand. For example, in beans, castor, mustard, sunflower, tamarind, etc. Now in hypogeal germination, cotyledons remain in the soil. For example, in gram, pea, mango, groundnut. Now let us learn about those factors that affect germination. Now let's consider the first factor as water. Uptake of water by seeds is called imbibition. Imbibition leads to the swelling and the breaking of the seed coat. The second factor is temperature. Most common annual vegetables have optimal temperatures range between 24 to 32 degrees centigrade for germination. So when you are growing vegetable seeds, you should be very careful about the temperature. The third factor is oxygen or aeration. Oxygen in the presence of enough moisture causes respiration to start metabolism. This creates energy for the germination process. Respiration rates for germinating seeds are very high. Therefore, adequate oxygen is necessary. Seed beds that are overwatered, poorly drained, will cause the oxygen supply to become limited. So the germination percent will reduce. Overwatering of plants also lead to diseases such as damping off. So be careful. Don't overwater your seeds, otherwise they will never grow. The fourth factor is light or darkness. Generally, seeds require darkness to germinate, but sometimes it requires light. Now, let's do some activity. Dig a hole in a suitable part of your garden or a container filled with soil. Plant the seeds in the soil. Cover the hole with soil and make sure that the seedling sits firmly. Water it regularly, but don't waterlog it. Wait for it to grow big and enjoy it growing to a plant. In this video, you have learnt about seed germination. So plant some seeds in the pots at your house and see them growing. Enjoy learning and stay safe.